Hey guys, it's your boy Jay. This is Football Talk, and in this one, I got a reaction. In this one, I will be reacting to EA just dropped a new Madden 24 update, new X Factors. Okay, alright, so we got some new X Factors. I cannot remember the one. I don't remember the ones that that are now in the game, but some new ones. I wonder if there are gonna be like any new players also getting added to the X Factor list. Maybe that might be what it is as well. That would be pretty cool to see, but I can't wait to see what this new update is. It's probably gonna be maybe some like online things, but could be some franchise things as well, because they've been giving a lot more attention to it. Without further ado though, let's jump right into it.
We've got a brand new Madden 24 update to go over today. Now, it's been quite a bit since we've seen an update from Madden, about a month, and the last update we saw wasn't even one that was that big either. So it's kind of been closer to 2 months since we've seen a substantial update to the game. And one thing I've kind of noticed as we've gone into the new year is the updates have definitely been a lot lighter for Madden this year than they usually are. Usually January, February, and even March, we'll still have one pretty big or significant update. We really just haven't seen that yet, and I think it's for multiple reasons. Number one, they're obviously in Madden 25 mode now. They are kind of getting into that final period where they really got to start focusing a lot more attention on the upcoming Madden game. But not only that, EA Sports College Football is also coming out a little bit sooner than that. And I think some of the people from the Madden team have definitely been moved over to college football, as they're like really in that grind mode now to make sure that they get that game out on time. Now, obviously, they do have two separate teams working on the game, but some of the people that work on Madden are also working on college football as well, because some of those people worked on the old NCAA game. So they're obviously going to be dipping into some of the Madden team to help with that game, making sure it gets out on time. And I think that's why we're kind of seeing Madden not get as many big updates or as much attention during this time of the year as it has over the last few years. We've kind of come accustomed to them doing a little bit more update wise at the beginning of a new year, and we're just not really seeing that much anymore because now they have two games they're working on instead of just the next Madden game. Now, speaking of those games, if you want to stay up to date with all the news for the upcoming Madden and college football game, which you're going to start getting more and more as the months go on, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you never miss any of those videos when they drop. Now, today does officially kick off Season 5 for Madden 24, and we'll talk about what that means a little bit later in the video. But one of the bigger updates we're seeing today is that they're finally switching over the X Factor and Superstar players. We know that they do this about twice a year. They last did this in November, so now we're a couple days from March, and usually around late February, early March is when they do the second and final X Factor and Superstar reshuffle for the year. So based on how players have been performing over the last few months and just the entire season as a whole, they're going to finally switch these up, and we're going to get into who those new players are right now. Starting off with the new X Factors, no surprise, CeeDee Lamb was a shoe-in to finally get moved to X Factor. I think he should have probably been moved to this when they did the update a few months ago, but for whatever reason they didn't do it then, but they have done it now. By far his best season as a pro, one of the best receivers.
I'm surprised he wasn't moved earlier.
He goes from Superstar to X Factor, and they've given him the Yak 'em Up X Factor, which increases his chance to break
there's no questions.
Tackle. So when
I gotta give it to him.
When he's in the zone,
even though he with that star on his damn
helmet, whatever type of ball carrier move you want to use with him, he's likely going to break that first tackle and get you some extra yak. The next guy moving up to X Factor is Josh Allen, the pass rusher for the Jags. Now, he also had his best season as a pro, racked up a ton of sacks this year, and was kind of coming into his own, being the guy that they drafted.
I like that, well-deserved. Josh Allen,
X Factor, which is the best one.
And I don't mean the Bills quarterback, but this Josh Allen,
wins and quicker
he's that dude. Like this year, I think he showed a lot of people that
stop right there.
He's that, you know what I mean, unstoppable force.
You gotta be on Underdog Fantasy playing their
no thing better than that.
It's super simple. All you gotta do is simply pick higher or lower on a wide variety of player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. And since it's currently NBA season, for example, you could take a certain player like LeBron to get over a certain amount of points, or you can take another player to get a certain amount of rebounds, or lower than that amount, whatever you think is gonna happen. But the best part about Underdog Fantasy is they're gonna always give you a free play right at sign up to help you win some money. So for tonight, they're gonna give you Luka Doncic, for example. All he has to do is get 1 point, and that's it. You win.
I'm kind of surprised they ain't have. He wasn't outrated X Factor, because he is definitely one of the best at his position.
All he has to do is get 1 point, and you'll win. And if that's not good enough, at sign up, if you use my code RAY, R-A-Y, they're gonna also double your first deposit up to $100. Meaning, if you deposit 100, you get an extra free 100 on top of that to play with.
Oh my boy, bruh, St. Brown this year went
X Factor
crazy.
Is Kyle Hamilton, which should be no surprise. He had his best year so far as a pro, and he's now being kind of regarded as one of the best safeties in the league, and rightfully so. He is one of the
he's that that guy. He's like a Julian Edelman to me. Like you could depend on him whenever.
They're really starting.
Wait, Hutchinson's not up here?
Here being one of the better teams in the game.
What?
And he got the reinforcement.
How is Hutchinson not up here? He should get the hybrid style. I don't even think it's called that, but like the hustle
catches when he's in the zone.
Because
the next guy
he could be out of the play, right? He comes out of nowhere, comes right back into play. The play could have been over. It looked like it's over. Dude keeps on running. I mean, his hustle, his second, third effort is unmatched.
X factor player. I mean, you can
in the NFL, in my opinion.
Hutchinson should probably be moved up there as well. But he gets the double me X factor, which is probably the best one for wide receivers. It's going to allow him to win aggressive catches versus single coverage when he's in the zone.
Milano, my boy.
And the last new X factor player is Matt Milano of the Bills, and this one was a little surprising.
I mean, he's a Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl linebacker, one of the best. He's one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
With him over maybe some of the other names that were kind of in that argument to be moved up. But
I know he was injured this year, but
linebackers in the league, he's getting the reinforcement X factor as well, which gives him that higher chance to defeat run blocks and disrupt catches. Something you see typically with the safeties and some of these linebackers that get X factors. Now let's look at the new superstar player, starting with Kyle.
Who was the last fullback to
actually
get
a
superstar? Let's be honest.
Kyle obviously has been great. He's a good offensive weapon.
Name-wise,
mid-out elite and matchup nightmare. So this is going to
help. He's probably the only one I know his actual name. No offense to all the other fullbacks. I probably know their last name. But how many times do you see a fullback making these type of catches he made, like in the Super Bowl?
And a lot of the other top tackles are superstars.
Ridiculous.
For some reason, Laramie Tunsil never was. And he gets secure protector and screen protector. So he's going to have better pass blocking and better blocking in the screen game, which is nice. And Nico Collins also moved up into this spot after having by far his best year as a pro. He gets the mid in elite and the deep in elite. So any type of in breaking route that goes a little bit deeper down the field, like posts,
100%,
and things like that, he's going to get really good separation.
He is top 5 tackles in the league.
Next up, we've got Chris Lindstrom,
maybe
of
top
the Falcons. 3. He's moving up into superstar with the fool me once and secure protector abilities. For the Bucks, we've got Antoine Winfield Jr. finally moving up into the superstar. He's got tip drill and acrobat, which are going to be two of the better ones for a secondary player. It's going to allow him to make
CJ
a lot
in there.
better animations in coverage, diving for swats and interceptions.
Dude had the best statistical rookie year of any quarterback
We've
ever.
got Denzel Ward also moving up into superstar, and I could have sworn he already was a superstar. Maybe they removed it from him because he is listed here on the site.
My
but honestly,
boy,
this is like another example of a guy that I think
Mr. Reliable. He is always going to do his job.
He does have acrobat, which is good, and deep route KO, which is also good, meaning if he's in man coverage, he's going to knock the ball out on those deep routes pretty much every time. David Njoku having his best season as a pro, and he gets some really good abilities. He's got short and elite, which is good because it kind of still activates on a lot of in-breaking routes, not just short ones. But he also has tight end apprentice, which is one of the best abilities you can have. It's going to give him those extra routes, like post routes and corner routes, which are really deadly. For the Bengals, we've got
surprised he's not an X factor.
Moving up into superstar. Honestly, he should have had this at least by last year, if maybe not even the year before that. He's been such a consistent pass rusher for the last 3 to 4 seasons.
Yes, sir. One of the top 10 tight ends in the league.
The run, and he gets edge threat, which is going to give him those dominant pass rush moves from the edge, which these are two of the better ones you want on an edge rusher, and he has them. We've got Evan Ingram from the Jags finally getting some love as well, having his best season. He gets the mid-out elite, which is okay, not really nothing crazy, but he has tight end apprentice, which, like I said a minute ago, is one of the best abilities for a tight end.
Hold on. How was he not in this last year?
Which is one of the best abilities you could have for a running back this year, because the
dude is an absolute
the best monster move in the game, and when you add jukebox to that, it makes
it even
better.
And then you got Hybrid. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but you got him on the other side. Those two
is a lot better in the game.
Come on now, they're so underrated. Like this, bruh. Since he came into the league, he's been that dude.
Making them
like with New Orleans, he was that dude.
The Panthers got a new superstar in Derek Brown.
He was that dude
on their team, I think.
And then with the Bengals, I mean, he
is the best player on the team, or he's close. He gets swim club and
that D line.
So now the Panthers have two guys in the D line that can get those extra block sheds and get to the QB quicker. The Super Bowl winning Chiefs got a couple new superstar players as well. Creed Humphrey, who is definitely overdue, one of the best centers in the league. He gets linchpin, which is going to help the entire offensive line, which is great, and he gets natural talent. Also, we've got Isaiah Pacheco coming in with that jukebox ability, like I said,
like
just
that.
making the Chiefs that much better. They're already arguably
He
the
was
best
making
team in the game
some
just because
spectacular
Patrick Mahomes is
catches.
hot route master, and they've got some really good players, got some speed, but now you
Tight
get
end is
jukebox
your best
Isaiah
friend.
Pacheco, making them even better. Not only do the Lions get a new X factor, but they got a few new superstar players as well, and that's deserved after having one of their best seasons in a long time. Penei Sewell, one of the best linemen in the league, he gets natural talent and screen protector. We've got Frank Ragnow,
It's so great to
another
see
guy on the
Travis
offensive
back.
line getting lynched
Like,
in, which
like the
again,
year
helps
that
the
he
entire
had,
offensive line, which is great.
he
And
showed a
gets
lot
all
of people
day.
why
And then, of
he
course,
was
Sam Laporta, one of the best
that dude
rookie
from
tight end
Clemson.
seasons we've seen in a while, but he only gets mid-end elite, which in my opinion, not really the best ability. It's going to help him on like post routes and dig routes, but I feel like they could have gave him something a little better. The Dolphins already have a few X factors and superstar players, but they're getting a new one with Raheem Mostert after his great season. He's got balance beam, but the good one here is evasive, because evasive gives you spin cycle and it gives you jukebox. Spin cycle not really that good, as the spin move just isn't that good in general this year, but he does get jukebox with this, which makes, again, the Dolphins just that much more dangerous on offense. The Jets add another superstar player to their team with Breece Hall, who gets backfield master and evasive, which makes their offense that much better, because backfield master is giving you extra hot routes to the running back, so you can put him on Texas routes, flat routes, but he also gets evasive, like which we just talked about, gives him that jukebox ability, making the Jets offense a little bit better in Madden 24. And another running back is getting superstar here for the Rams, Kyron Williams, after having a great season as well. He gets bruiser, which isn't really the best.
I heard a lot of
it's
good things
it's gonna
about
allow
him
to break more tackles when trucking and stiff arming. Definitely a good ability, but jukebox is just going to be the more preferred one this year, but he definitely will break more tackles with this ability. Now, here are the players who got downgraded. As we know, when new players get superstar and X Factor, they downgrade some players as well. So here are the downgraded X Factor players: Von Miller, Josh Jacobs, DeMarcus Lawrence,
Okay, there's
Eckler, and
Hutchinson.
Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
And I don't really have too much of a problem with any of these guys, because I think most of these guys didn't have like amazing years. They all kind of took a step back a little bit. I think DeMarcus Lawrence had a pretty good year, but he just got X Factor, I think, with
What was
the last
Hutchinson
update,
ability? Did he show it?
Take it
I don't
back.
remember him
Terry
showing it.
McLaurin obviously has just kind of been in a bad QB situation for a while, but you know, Eckler, Jacobs, and Von
Fastest
Miller
running
didn't
back
really
in the
do a whole
league.
lot this year. And
Got
here
the
are the
fastest receiver
downgraded
in the
superstar
league.
players: Cameron Jordan, Kevin Byard, Dallas Goedert, Ryan Jensen,
like you building the
Mekhi
ultimate team.
Becton, Kyle Pitts, Shaq Barrett, Daniel Carlson, Younghoe Koo,
Bryce Hall,
Deontay Johnson,
bruh,
and
last
Tony
year.
Pollard. Now, we also
Last year he took off. If it wasn't for that ACL,
messing with the fatigue on defense to
boy,
try to
oh
limit
boy.
the overuse of secondary blitzing or like cornerback blitzing off the edge, and it just really has.
I think
not
Bryce
worked
Hall
properly.
can be at
So they
least
did
a
bit of
top.
tuning update here,
To
and
me,
it
he's
says,
a top
"We have
10
now
running
reverted
back."
the fatigue changes where defenders would get a severe fatigue penalty when pass rushing and engaging in a block with a
Yeah, he
blocker
did
that
change.
was significantly
He changed
bigger
a
than the
lot of
defender.
their running
The
game
concept of this new
with
fatigue
him.
penalty was something that was correct in premise.
From
The
last
application
year to
resulted
this
in too
year,
many
it's a
undesired
complete
artifacts
180.
that hindered the end user's playing experience. We do plan to revisit this in the future and possibly implement a more comprehensive version in an upcoming title. So basically what they're saying here is they tried to do something different. They tried to kind of penalize the cornerback blitzers when they would be faced with the big offensive linemen who were
Yeah, I
much
ain't got a
bigger than
problem with
them,
that.
but it kind of had ripple effects of fatigue on defense in general, which was not the idea. So they couldn't really figure it out. They reverted it back to how it was, and they're going to probably try to see if they can change this probably in the upcoming Madden and do maybe a better fix for this. So the fatigue has now been reverted to how it was at the beginning of the game, essentially. So you're probably going to start seeing.
I mean, but
some
Vine, he
more
was
blitzes
injured
off
for
the
most
edge
of the
than
year.
Maybe we're seeing the past couple of months. Today also kicks off Season 5, which is mainly an Ultimate Team thing.
Kyle
New
Pitts
rewards, new
is
field
really
passes are
falling off
unlocked.
for
So if
me.
you are Ultimate Team player, you're probably already kind of tapped in with that. You've watched the stream, but there's going to be a new field pass, new rewards to compete for, new rewards to unlock. And we do this, you know, a few times a year in Ultimate Team. So I know a lot of people here aren't big Ultimate Team players. Y'all are more regs and franchise guys. But for those who do play Ultimate Team, a new season has officially kicked off today. So you can go check it out. And there's a lot of new challenges and stuff like that to play. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, these updates have kind of been smaller and smaller. Now, the X Factor and Superstar update is a pretty big one. But outside of that, not a lot of stuff for gameplay, nothing for franchise, nothing for Superstar, no player likeness. This has been the lightest player likeness year that I've seen from Madden in a long time. We've gotten not much player likeness updates this year. We haven't really gotten many equipment updates this year. It's been very, very minimal, and most of them were at the beginning of the year. We have not seen a lot of gameplay updates even really the past few months. And again, I think it's because not only are they working on Madden 25, but they're even more importantly, some of those people have been moved over to the college football game, because that is kind of the big thing right now. That comes out in July. They got to get it out. They got to make sure everything's ready to go. And they're definitely using some people from the Madden team to do that. And that's why these updates have kind of been smaller and smaller over the past 3 months, whereas typically, you know, they'd still be significantly bigger than this in years past. So I don't even know if we're going to expect another update for this game, because usually we'll get like one last update in April. And the way things are going, I'm not even sure we're going to get that this year. I think they're just completely moved on to the new
I'm not really
games
too
now.
much in the
We're having
Ultimate
2
Team.
games
If
to
you
work on.
are,
We're probably not going to be experiencing
let
anything
me
too
know.
big the rest of the year, and Madden 24 is kind of just going to carry on now as is until the new game. Now, we've been getting a lot of news lately about that upcoming college football game, and if you want to know the latest and what we can expect from that game, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.
Damn, it has. Now I'm thinking about it, it has. Because last year, I mean, like, almost every video was like about the player likeness, or every few videos at least. This might be the last one. That's crazy to think about that. This might be the last update. Oops, did not mean it. I'm not gonna, the X Factors one was like the X Factor one was the biggest, like he said. The guys that was left off, I fully agree with. X did not have a really good, I mean, that team with that talent, they totally underachieved. There's no question about that. That was with Herbert going out. I mean, it was kind of like, damn, like it was over for him. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a Vaughn. He didn't really play too much. Who else? Kyle Pitts. For me, he is like, I don't want to see him in discussion as like a best up and coming tight end. I don't know. I saw the hype, you know, and the first year he played pretty good. Second year, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about Kyle Pitts in my opinion. Maybe it's the situation he in. I mean, it's been a revolving door as far as quarterback plays, and you know, quarterback and tight ends, those are your best friends. So it could be that, but I don't know. I don't know about Kyle Pitts in my opinion. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.